Today I'm going to be making a bench hook, and I need to make this bench hook because of the next thing I'm going to make next Thursday. So let's talk about making this bench hook. So I already have this bench hook and I've used this to do some sharpening in the past, but I didn't really know what I was doing when I made this bench hook. So you can see this piece, it's starting to chip off here because I used some plywood and I didn't really do a good job at selecting the grain on the plywood. For example, on this side I used some real wood on this side, and I have the grain going this way, whereas I should really have the grain going this way. I have this piece. I bought this piece of plywood, whole sheet over there. This is looks like 3-ply. And it's got a nice finish on one side, and it's a 1/4 inch thick. And the 1/4 inch thick helps me because if I have a thinner piece of wood like this, I can bump it up against it and plane this side and kind of get that stock prepared. And I'm going to have to do some of that for a router that I'm trying to prepare next Thursday. Anyway, so the bench hook is a pretty simple thing to do, but before I get started, I wanted to say a thank you for some of my viewers on Instagram who have followed me on YouTube. They found me on Instagram, followed me on YouTube. I know you guys by name, so thank you for supporting me and supporting the process. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, if that's not your thing, that's fine, but I do some behind the scenes stuff on Instagram. That's kind of where I post things as I am building them or as I'm preparing to take a video. I have back of the behind the scenes stuff going on Instagram, so you should try to go to Instagram and check it out. To help adhere this thing in here, I'm just going to use some super glue because super glue can easily be popped out. So let's do that because I need to pop it out to be able to fix it in the future. Just a little bit of super glue just to keep it holding. Bring it there. Flush this thing. Get it square. Just press it down for a little bit and it should be fine in a second. It's already starting to grip. You can just pop it with the chisel later on when it's done. Drill it from the other side. I'm just going to quickly mark with a pencil kind of where I am. So this is just going to put a little pencil line so I know where the center lies. And I'm going to quickly countersink these holes that I just made. I like to countersink. It's a habit from my days working metal in my engineering school. It was something we always did. And now for the screws, we don't need this anymore. I'm going to press down so I don't have the parallel threads problem. The super glue will prevent that. Flush it in just a little bit. Now once this is prepared, just to make it easy on my hands, I could have done this before making this gluing it all up, but I'm just going to phase the edges here a little bit, chamfer them a little bit so they feel better on my hands. There, that's fine. That's better. This gap allows me to hold the piece like this and cut into it if I wanted to, if I was using a regular tenon saw, and the plane and the saw would not make marks on my bench top. It'll just make marks on my bench hook, which I can always replace very easily because I'm already seeing some marks on my bench top from having to saw through it. But at the same time, I could flip it over and use the bench hook this way and kind of pull into the strokes. So kind of lets me do it either way I want. And works this way works better for the Japanese pull saws. Another use for this bench hook is to prepare the end grains by bouncing this against the stop and flipping my square. I got some really nice fine shavings on this side, and this is not really designed to do this because this side has to be exactly perpendicular, which it is not, but it would work in a jiffy. So anyway, the bench hook project is done. It was pretty quick and simple. Next week I'm going to be using the bench hook as a planing stop to work on preparing my router in a certain way, so you'll see that next week. I'll come out on Thursdays. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe New videos come out every Mondays and Thursdays. Mondays are project videos. I will see you next time.